Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to What If Izuku Midoriya Was a Mandalorian? Where we last left off. Well, Izuku Midoriya and the rest of the Mandalorians were ambushed by clone assassins from Star Wars Legends and from Star Wars The Revenge of the Sith game, if you've ever played it. And yeah, this is, well, where we left off. After the Sith, well, not Sith, after the assassins had attempted to take Zuko away to see Mr. Emperor Palpatine, Mr. Palpatine, or Emperor Wrinkles. Because, come on, he got his own Force lightning in the face from Mace Windu. If that isn't karma, then I don't know what is. Anyway, Zuko, after this encounter with Ahsoka, he, well, gets on his hands and knees and asks her to train him. Ahsoka says, I will do as best as I can for you. I am no Jedi, so I can't really tell you what to do anymore. As they continue training. After a while, after a long while of training, Ahsoka says, just stops training, saying, I think that's enough training for now. Well, I think that's enough. I can teach you no more. As Deku says, so that's it. We're done. You've accomplished more training methods than I could ever teach you. You need a true Jedi Master to teach you combat skills like very advanced ones. I think Kenobi could help you, but I don't know where he is. Ezra says, just walks up saying, I think I can help you out with that. I'm going to head over to Tatooine. I'm going to keep myself covered. I'm going to go to Tatooine. See if I can dig up anything on Kenobi there. Pardon me. As well, he takes Ahsoka with her. And eventually, Azuku's two Mandalorians were in the same area that Bakugo was being held at. As they say, hey, as they go on the comm saying, put package through to the one Mandalorian, Mandalore, the Chosen. As a Mandalorian comes up to Deku saying, Deku, two of our people need help. As Deku rushes over to a comm unit saying, yo, what's up? As they say, you might want to come to our location, get your armor on. As well, these so-called heroes are up to something. As they say, they see what they're doing, saying, yep, the heroes are definitely up to something. They just burst through a wall. Apparently they're fighting some people called the League of Villains. Hang on a minute, what's going on down there? No, not down there, over there. Is that goo coming out of that guy's mouth? Ugh. Like, what the? A few people just vanished. Let's try and find them. As the same thing happens in canon. Over to the heroes' versions. All Might smashes through the wall like in canon. Everybody takes the villains down, but All For One teleports them all to him. So the two Mandalorians spend a little while trying to find where those people went. As they see, well, All For One and One For All standing in the middle of a crater. Turns out they missed a bit of the fun. Same thing happens in canon with Mount Lady, everybody trying to capture All For One and destroy the Nomus. Unfortunately, they never got a chance. Because All For One kicks their asses. Rip Vestinist, even though you come back in the war arc. Spoiler alert if you haven't read the war arc yet. The manga of the war arc yet. As well. Yeah, these two Mandalorians perch themselves onto a roof, saying, "We're sending you our new location now. Get over here." As Deku says, "I will," as he puts on the Mandalorian armor that he has on in the picture. Not the other kind of armor. As he flies off, followed by Idril and Mandalorians that survived. The critically injured stay behind, but the non-critical leave with Deku. They're mainly just left with cuts and scrapes and cuts, but they still go with him. As they find a messy sight. As, well, All Might gets thrown back. Deku starts shooting at All For One and misses him. Just to let him know that there's somebody else there. As All For One turns to see where the shot came from, only to have a missile be fired at him. Now, All For One is clever, so he puts somebody in front of him so they can take the brunt of the attack, which he just throws a villain that that happened to be around. He just holds the villain up in front of it as it blows up in his face, killing him instantly. Because no matter if you're from Star Wars, a missile to the face will kill you. No question. A missile will just flat out kill you. As well, Izuku flies down and lands in front of him, saying, "So you're the guy I'm sent here to kill. I believe you have something that belongs to me, or to my people." As All For One says, "And who are you?" As Izuku just says, "I'm the guy here for that helmet, here for that holder. Well, scab. Not scab, handle. I'm the guy here for that handle." As All For One just grabs it and activates it. It turns out to be the Darksaber. As Izuku says, "Then I must fight you one-on-one then, to get that back." As Izuku goes into a combat stance, as him and All Might both jump at, All For One. After a few hours of fighting, All For One is defeated by Deku, and the Mandalorians that were with him bow, saying, "All hail Mandalore, the chosen," as they head off to their own base. Quickly leaving, Deku shows the Darksaber off to everyone, saying, "This is what Mandalore sent me here to find." As Inko and Alex walk out their own housing blocks, as they see Izuku holding the Darksaber above his head. Idril and everybody bow, saying, "All hail well, not all hail," saying their houses. One actually says, "Clan Vizsla is with you." All different clans say that they're with him, as they hear Bo-Katan of Clan of the Night Owls joins you, as they all see, well, Bo-Katan and her Night Owls, as they bow before Deku as well. As Idril says, "Idril of former House Wren bows before you," as even Deku turns around to see his mum and his uncle, saying, "House Midoriya, the House of Mandalores, House of the former Mandalore, bows before you." As he raises his hand up with the Darksaber, saying, "I will not disappoint you. We will fight, we will die, we will retake our home when the time is right. Our time will come where we will rise." The Empire took our home, but we found a new place to call home. This is only temporary. My brothers, my sisters, of all different clans, I promise you, this day, the Empire will fall. As the Mandalorians all go up and cheer, saying, "Mandalore, Mandalore, Mandalore." Just imagine them shouting Mandalore at the top of their voices, at the top of their lungs. As a news camera actually followed them, as they are actually close enough to hear the whole speech. As even All Might, Endeavour, Bakugo, Class 1A, Class 1B, all the classes in UA, hell, even the world hears the entire speech. As Deku continues, saying, "My brothers and sisters, calm yourselves. We have yet to begin." While he's still holding the Darksaber up. "You want me to be your new Mandalore?" As everybody cheers, saying, "Yes, we want you to be our new Mandalore. You were already our Mandalore to begin with, just you didn't have the right title just yet." As this continues, Deku says, "Tonight we feast. Tonight we plan. Well, tonight we feast, tomorrow we plan. We plan our ascension back onto the top of the food chain. As everybody starts cheering, all the Mandalorians, as Deku hears a snap of a twig as he turns round, putting down his weapon, as he sees the camera crew. As he points the dark saber at them, as all the Mandalorians look and get their weapons ready, as he just simply says, "And to all you heroes out there, we never wanted to come here." Or should I say, I never wanted to come here. I never wanted to get my home involved in a war. That was not of their own doing. But rest assured, I will make sure the Empire that destroyed my second home doesn't come here to destroy my first. As he says, protect the civilians. Protect my people. As he says, because I'm going to train a bunch of them and we're going to take a ship from, well, not take, buy, illegally, a ship. As, well, a few months pass, Idril's birthday passes, and now she's 20. And Izuku, well, it's 19 still. So, yeah. Idril still blushes when she's starts to blush when she's near him due to the corralling speech that he gave. As she tells him about a battle going on between the so-called rebellion and the Empire. And it looks like there's two vessels, well, one vessel that looks relatively small and not of an imperial standard, but it must be from the olden times, where an empire run by the Sith themselves were around. Apparently, there's a few of them floating around the galaxy somewhere, and this battle is happening near one of them. We could start rebuilding our clans. As Deku just says, then we take it. As he gathers Mandalorians that want to go with him, which turns out to be all of them. Even the civilians want to go with him. As he says, for our peoples to survive, the civvies and the children and the women and children, the women who have kids stay with their kids. The men follow me. And the women who do not have kids, you also follow me. We will not be back for some time. As they blast off into space. And where are they going? Well, they're going straight to straight to a sector that is orbiting a prison complex, aka they are orbiting Kessel. The reason why Kessel, because it makes it a bit easier for me. Because Kessel's around a asteroid field. And if you can see, now on the screen, that's what they're getting. Well, as Deku and the others arrive, they see the rebels and the Imperials firing at each other, and the rebels are sort of losing, but they're making sure the Empire lose ships left, right, and center. As they enter aboard the vessel, And all of them enter the vessel undetected, but they find out that this vessel already has passengers aboard, other Mandalorians, who didn't go to Mandalore, well, who were actually on Mandalore. As they see these houses, well, these clans land aboard, where blasters are drawn, as Deku walks down, as he shows off the Darksaber. And as they see this, one of them challenges Deku for the saber, and the guy loses. Seeing Izuku's strength, they all bow and say, "Welcome aboard this destroyer, Mandalore." As Mandalore says, "Do you know where any others are?" And they say, "Yes, we do. Our clan is one of the biggest. We don't have that many fighters, but we do have excellent fighter pilots." As Deku says, "This is good. We could use a ship like this. My people, we return back to our base of operations. We will pick up the rest of our people, and we will leave my homeworld behind, and we will fight the Empire here today." As well, now that this bigger clan has joined, which is over 2,000, and beware, this can hold 4,000. So add another 112 civilians and 25 operational Mandalorians, or Mandalorian soldiers. Yeah, you can still fit quite a few more people on there. As they go back and get all the civilians and everything else on board this ship called the Mandalore's Revenge. The Mandalorian Revenge. Kind of fitting because they are actually out for revenge for their homeworld. As well, this vessel jumps from system to system, finding other ships. They even find a Mandalorian gunboat with a few basilisk war droids. And Deku has heard of these basilisk war droids. As shit's getting spicy. Deku prefers the old ways, where strength proves your worth above everything else. But that's only if you choose to be in the Mandalorian's fighter corps, ground assault corps. If you're good in a cockpit, you'll be flying a basilisk war droid. Ooh. And trust me, there are a lot of people in that big clan who could operate basilisk war droids. It's, well, when they reach, I failed to mention this, when they actually reach Earth, they fly over the top of the forest where all their people are, where everybody in the whole world and its mother could see that there's an alien vessel above the forest. As well, the army gets involved. A lot of them try to shoot at the ship, but when they see that one of their fighters gets taken down with a single shot, and another one gets boarded by a droid with somebody riding on top of it, they realise that there's people on board who are more than happy to kill. For the sake of killing, per se. As the army leaves it alone, because I don't think anybody wants to be dealing with a basilisk war droid. And the basilisk war droids, if you don't pay attention to the lore of the Mandalorians, oh Christ, those things are scary. As well, Deku and the clans, well, send a transmission to the whole world saying, sorry about the deaths of the pilots. They were truly good fighters for being so bold as to face a destroyer class vessel. My condolences to their families. As well, they leave once again. Now, this is where Earth goes through a bit of a change. They start going into space and building their own ships. Ones that could go to hyperspace. To see the rest of the galaxy. As they leave, a hooded figure stands in the forest as he says, fascinating. An old Sith Empire vessel. Now, I wonder how you'll deal with the Empire, now that they know that the Mandalorians are planning to make a return. As even I, Thrawn, am gonna make your lives a living misery, Mandalorians. Or Mandalore, the Chosen. I will make sure that your little revenge falls piece by piece. It shouldn't be too hard to destroy you. Yep, I am adding Grand Admiral Thrawn in this because, come on, he's already made a return in Rebels, even though that's ended quite some time ago now. He is still one of the most terrifying tacticians next to Lord Vader, if not above Lord Vader. Anyway, the Mandalorians start regaining their strength. More and more people from Mandalore seek them out. Eventually, they find a small vessel giving a Star Destroyer. An Imperial Star Destroyer, mind you, a little bit of a runaround. As the transmission is sent out from the small vessel, from the small vessel, saying, "This is Hera Syndulla of the Ghost, calling anybody in the nearby sectors. Please respond We need help. My crew is injured. I am trying to hold off this Star Destroyer. Is anybody out there? Please respond. I got two Jedi on board as well. As she receives a transmission from Deku saying, make your way to this coordinate. To these coordinates, you'll find a vessel that is more than ready to take on an Imperial Star Destroyer. As she says, who is this? As Deku says, Mandalore the Chosen. If you have two Jedi, then I will help them. Like my forefather before me when he was a Jedi, Mandalorian. As Hera shouts to Zeb, saying, Zeb, get Sabine, get Ezra, get Kanan, Chopper, ready because we're going to be landing on board of a hopefully friendly vessel. As Zeb says, but Hera, didn't you hear him? He's Mandalorian. That means there's a Mandalorian crusade going on. As well, Deku says, we do not wish to harm you. Our beef is with the Empire. As well, Hera lands with the Ghost crew as Sabine, well, not Sabine, but as they land, the Mandalorians launch their basilisk war droids to fight the Imperial TIE fighters that have come out to play. As well, the Imperials got absolutely smacked. Like, severely smacked. They got so smacked their faces are no longer there due to the basilisk war droids that don't fuck around. And when the Imperial Star Destroyer came into view, they see a howitzer destroyer. Okay, the howitzer destroyers are smaller than an Imperial Star Destroyer, but that don't mean this little bugger can pack in a punch. Because the Mandalorians weren't sitting idle, they were upgrading this motherfucker. This new and improved battleship, if you get the references, says your laser bank goes pew pew, ours go boom boom. Goodbye. Because this vessel, you're not escaping that fast. As this vessel, the Mandalorian's Wrath, or the Mandalore's Revenge, obliterates the Star Destroyer. It literally goes underneath, has all of its main batteries pointing up and firing. They were not letting that Star Destroyer leave without it a good chunk of its hull severely breached. As it tries to launch more starfighters. And because it's an Imperial officer, it was mainly a panicking situation. As well, they launch fighters, shuttles, anything to get away. As well, they didn't last long. As well, as soon as Deku and his Mandalorian brethren finished off all of the Imperials, two more Star Destroyers turn up. Then hold their positions, don't launch fighters, as a final Star Destroyer turns up. And it has the Chimera symbol on the bottom. As they get a transmission saying, "This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. Stand down, Mandalorians. Let's talk. Send over Mandalore the Chosen." As the Mandalorians just simply turn the ship around, and leave, going into hyperspace. As Sabine walks out of the ghost, to see what's going on. Hera walked out soon after, along with Chopper and Zeb, followed by Kanan Jarrus, aka Caleb Doom, and Ezra Britchard, or Britcher, as they see dozens of Mandalorians. As Sabine says, "What? But how? How are there this many Mandalorians?" As well, she sees House Wren tags or colours. As she runs over to Idril, saying, "Why is what is my house doing here?" As Wren turns around to see Sabine, as she says, "Who are you?" As she says, Sabine says, "My name is Sabine Wren." As well, a lot of the Mandalorians stop what they're doing. As a lot of them shout, "Traitor! You betrayed Mandalore. You betrayed our home. You betrayed even our trust. How can we trust traitors like you?" As Sabine said, "I left my clan to make things right. Please forgive me. But the reason why our people suffer now is due to one of my designs, which I destroyed, but I have a feeling the Empire brought it back again." As well, yeah, Idril was not happy because she knew exactly what she was talking about. As she slams Sabine onto the floor, saying, "If you built a weapon, it'll most probably be a weapon of a coward." As Idril begins sort of choking her, as she says, "I destroyed all of its designs and schematics, but they had a backup which I didn't know about. Forgive me, please," as she's being choked. Eventually, Deku walks onto the main deck as he shouts, "What in the blue hells is going on here? Idril, let her go." As Idril says, "But she betrayed us. She made a weapon to destroy us." As Deku says, "I will not repeat myself. Idril, let her go." "Fine, you're a lucky girl." As Idril lets her go. And that's where I'm leaving it, guys. like, comment, subscribe, and I will come back with part 10. And oh boy, part 10's gonna be spicy. Au revoir.